This is the all-new WowGo AT2 Plus. The most intriguing aspect of this new board is its name. It's not AT3, nor is it AT2 Pro. It is the AT2 Plus. As the name would suggest, the Plus is usually indicative of incremental improvements over the previous models rather than a completely new design. The original AT2 has done so many things right, especially at a sweet price point of just under $1,000. So the question is, what are the improvements of the AT2 Plus model? And are these improvements actually worthy of $230 you would pay above the original AT2 price? What I have in hand is the first factory mass production model. Most of the early reviewers actually received pre-production models. There shouldn't be too much differences except the motor color is red for the pre-production model. But I like reviewing the actual mass production model because what you see here in the video is actually exactly what you will receive if you order today. So let's check it out. The board is ready to go right out of the box, and the bushings are tuned really well. I can tell WowGo as a company putting a lot more effort into tuning the responsiveness of the AT2 Plus than the original WowGo AT2 as soon as I made my first turn on this board. The turning radius was sharp, and the turns are responsive, and the board was stable throughout the entire turn. I almost always recommend Venom bushings over the stock ones, as they provide game-changing performance and stability to almost any double Kimpin trucks out there. However, this board, the WowGo AT2 Plus, is the first board where I felt like I didn't need to swap out the bushings, like at all. On top of that, I didn't even need to tune the tightness of the trucks. It is shockingly perfect. My weight is about 195 pounds or 88.5 kilograms, so if you are lighter than me, the turning might be a little bit stiffer to you. But man, I was surprised at just how well tuned and responsive this board is right out of the box. So kudos to the WowGo team. Because of the new arrangement of the battery, the 12S of the AT2 Plus over the 10S of the older AT2, the AT2 Plus feels noticeably punchier in acceleration, even with the large AT wheels on, making this one of the best improvements for the AT2 Plus over the original AT2. And if you want even more acceleration, you can try even smaller wheel sizes. I love these Cloud Wheel street wheels. Yes, Cloud Wheel actually makes street wheels, and they are actually incredibly small at only 83mm in diameter. The ride gets bumpier and the top speed is reduced a bit, but oh man, the acceleration is sharply increased and improved. You definitely want to try this out. Try smaller wheel sizes if you love acceleration. As I carve into a turn, the maple bamboo deck also concaves into the turn, like a bow building up energy and then releasing the energy as you come out of the turn and pushing you into the next one. This is the beauty of wooden decks, and I think WowGo has really perfected the formula here. The composition of the deck remains unchanged, save for the shape to be a little bit different. It's more angular and a little bit longer. The underside batteries are compartmentalized into their own pockets, resulting in a super flexible battery stack that complements every flex from the deck above. I've tried a lot of boards, and to this day I still think WowGo holds the secret formula and the #1 spot for the perfect carving board. It's not too soft, nor is it too hard. It's just flexible enough to dampen the road vibrations, but stiff enough to still reach higher speeds of 31 miles per hour. The really subtle curved edges around the deck help you carve sharper, but they do not interfere with comfort. Many other overly aggressive edges from other boards can really hurt your feet during longer rides, and flat decks can be difficult to push the board harder as a rider struggles to find a good grip without looking down. The edges of this board is in a really good place that settles in the middle ground between carving performance and comfort. It also acts as your foot placement marker so that you can easily detect and put your feet on the right spot without ever need to look down. This is what is beautiful about this board. You can use quite literally every type of wheels available to you out there. You can ride street wheels today, ATs tomorrow, cloud wheels the day after, no problem, as it would be a quick 5-minute job to swap out all the wheels. I will be testing out in future videos the performance of other wheels on the AT2 Plus, such as the Matte Wheel 105s, Cloud Wheel 120s, the 83mm street wheels, and the all-new Momentum Hollow Wheel. Make sure you hit the subscribe and thumbs up button to please the YouTube machine learning overlords, and also I'm running a free raffle to give away a set of Matte Wheel 105s. These are my review units. All you have to do to enter is to be a subscriber and comment on anything down below. I will draw the winner on November 15th, 2022. Most people don't mention this, but this board is quite hands-free. What I mean by that is that you never need to reach down to turn on or off the board. You just turn on your remote and it turns on the board. This also includes the backlights, which are motion sensing. So you never really need to turn it off. You just need to leave it there and the motion sensing lights will turn off by itself. So this really means that you don't need to bend over and turn them on and off like shred lights. These are actually quite amazing additions to the AT2 Plus, because you would just grab your remote and go. And when you return from a ride, you just turn off the remote and walk away. This feature is so nice to have when you take a lot of frequent quick rides. So no more bending over before and after every ride to turn on the board and turn on the LEDs. This may sound like it's not that big of a deal, but trust me, once you have a board that have this feature, you will miss it on every board that don't have it. The remote looks just like the same remote design that WowGo has been using for quite a while now. However, this one feels a little bit different. The dial on the remote has a metal clicky feel as it returns to the default position, and the resistance feels less noticeable. This is good and bad. The good is that during long rides, your thumb needs less strength to maintain speed, and the bad is that it's easier to over-accelerate or over-brake if you are still learning this board and its riding characteristics. So I've gotten used to it after about 2 weeks, but it's just something I wanted to surface. A lot of people are quick to point out that the WowGo AT2 Plus motor model number is 5330, which is very different from the 6368 motor of the original AT2. At a glance, it seems like the motors have gotten smaller in the AT2 Plus, but that couldn't be further away from the truth. WowGo switched electric motor suppliers from Dongxingwei Motors in the WowGo AT2 to Hobbywing in the WowGo AT2 Plus to streamline the powertrain. Hobbywing has a completely different naming convention, which give the illusion that the motors have gotten smaller with the Hobbywing 5330 motors, but in actuality, the real physical size of the 5330 motor is roughly equivalent to a 6360 motor. Now, a lot of technical viewers may say, well, that roughly is the same size as the previous generation of motors in the original AT2. What are the improvements in these new 5330 Hobbywing motors over the 6368 motors? Well, I'm glad you asked, because the 5330 is actually a lot more powerful. It has a free spin of 8,535 RPM, while the 6368 has a free spin of roughly only 6,150 RPM. This translates to real-world performances where the 5330 has a top speed of 50 kilometers per hour or 31 miles per hour, as the older 6368 would be limited to 40 kilometers per hour, which is roughly 24 miles per hour. This, from my experience, does feel very accurate, as I've had both the AT2 and the AT2 Plus. The AT2 Plus has a significant stronger acceleration and higher top speed than its predecessor, making the 5330 motor the single most important upgrade in the AT2 Plus lineup. Again, a lot of sharp-eyed viewers have noticed that the motor power for the advertised original AT2 is roughly 1500 watts, and the AT2 Plus is rated at 1300 watts. So what's going on here? Why is the more powerful motor 200 watts less? Well, again, the AT2 Plus is still far more powerful than its older brother. What happened here is that during advertising, the older AT2 used maximum power that can be used by the motor. This is unsustainable for longer than just a few seconds, so it's really not meaningful to the consumer. The true rated power of the motors for the original AT2 is 850 watts. The true rated power of the AT2 Plus motors are what is being advertised at 1300 watts. That is a whopping 53% increase in wattage. I really love WowGo for taking the leap here to advertise the true rated power of the motors instead of the deceptive peak power which a lot of other advertisers use in this space. I wish more advertisers can follow WowGo's footsteps here. It just is a lot clearer to consumers if they would use the standard rated power of electric motors. So in summary, yes, you're getting a huge power boost from 850 watts to 1300 watts as compared to the original AT2. The ESC has been updated from 9005 in the AT2 to 9028 in the AT2 Plus. This newly upgraded ESC can provide much more juice from the battery to the motors. For example, the 10S battery from the AT2 provides 36 volt output, and the AT2 Plus ESC can use an increased 43.2 output from the new 12S battery pack. The more juice you can output, better the acceleration and top speed. So the AT2 Plus has all the necessary waterproofing installed on the board. However, WowGo chose not to advertise this as a feature because this would push a lot of riders to purposefully ride in water and in the rain, which will still ultimately damage the board, no matter how well the board is sealed. Don't sweat it if you run over a puddle, it's still sealed very well, it's just you don't want to purposefully seek out water-related activities as it will increase water damage risks. The estimated range on the website is pretty accurate. I got roughly 17 miles of range on the AT2 wheels with 20 psi in each of the wheels. I like the soft cushioning feeling of low psi wheels, but that will eat up range. I'm a heavier dude, I weigh 195 pounds, probably 210 pounds with all my gears on. So I would say if you are lighter than me, you should get a lot more range out of this board. Though the last 20% of the battery would see a slowdown in top speed of the board, but that's expected from any board in production right now. What do you get for roughly $230 more on top of the original AT2 pricing? What incremental value do you get out of it? You get a larger battery at 604 watt hours in a new 12S configuration. You get more powerful hobby wing motors at 1300 watts rated power over the 850 watt motors used by the original AT2 Plus. And you also get the upgraded ESC that would be able to fully harness the power output of the new batteries. You get a reshaped deck with the same proven material layers, but slightly longer and slightly more angular for a more modern look. You get tail lights that are motion sensing. You get motor brackets to protect your board. You get handlebar to mount on the front of your board, and you get the newly designed wheel hubs. The AT2 Plus is also the lightest longboard e-skate in this class. It's lighter than the Atlas and the Hurricane with the AT wheels on, and would be even lighter if you use street wheels. So if weight is important to you, AT2 Plus is the way to go. The all-new WowGo AT2 Plus is the true successor to the already perfect AT2, and it is improved in almost every way possible while retaining the perfect aspect of the original design. I did wish the battery could be a little bit larger, but knowing batteries are the most expensive parts of the board, that would probably push the pricing of the board into unfavorable territories. The AT2 Plus is still a value play. In my opinion, it is the best entry-level longboard you can buy at just over $1,100. It carves and flexes like a dream and performs just as well as the much more expensive competitors. It is also a comfortable ride due to the AT wheels and the flexible deck. It is adaptable to any any wheels out there if you get the Cloud Wheels kit. The WowGo AT2 Plus is my top recommendation if you are looking for the best value in a longboard e-skate today. Before we go, as a full disclosure, if you're looking to purchase this board, please use the affiliate links below. It doesn't cost you anything extra, but it would support me to make more awesome videos like this in the future. Thanks, and subscribe for more content on new boards and a long-term AT2 Plus review coming up. Thanks, and have a great day.